We did
All
get
right.
in that Halloween one shot actually, but other than that,
Yeah.
All right. I guess we're recording. So tonight we're playing just a couple hour demo of Altered Carbon using the quick start rules. We do our best, the best we can to see how this guy goes. So for those folks, we'll get acquainted. Altered Carbon takes place 250 years into the future. And it's a cyberpunk dystopian future, at least here on Earth in Bay City, aka San Francisco, California. Again, 250 years in the future. Um, we're gonna kind of smash up a little bit the book and the TV show. So let's we can talk just a little bit about what the area looks like, what San Francisco looks like. As you can see, we've had maybe a change in the climate, some might say. And so there is now a dam, hydroelectric dam that provides some power to the area and keeps the ocean out from flooding the interior. Um, for those folks who might not be familiar with San Francisco, this area is about 5 miles. Downtown, that's that built up area you saw. Also on the other side of the Golden Gate Bridge is also built up. Access on the bridge, driving a car would be a little bit of a challenge. The bridge is also occupied space these days. There are Bay Area Rapid Transport, or BART as we used to call them. There is transport tubes and trains that exist pretty much all through the city and also go to Oakland. So all of these areas are built up as we sort of saw in the picture. This area, Licktown, that's kind of classic, kind of harbor type, low life, red light district place. Psychosec Alcatraz, that's where the elite would keep their clones and sleeves. Those are the bodies that they could change and put their consciousness into. And we're going to find out more about that as we go. So here's a view from the bay, maybe not quite Alcatraz. You see again how it's built up on the sides of the Golden Gate Bridge. You do see some water draws going for desalination plants to pump water, potable water for the city. And you see a transport tube here going across. There's also one that goes under the Golden Gate. That's sort of how folks that don't have flying cars get around. And though you do see a few flying cars in the sky there. Again, we talked about how built up things are. You do see some transport tubes throughout the city. This is the city that you guys know, but it's pretty rare you see it from this angle. Above the fog and clouds is Aram. These are where the super wealthy live, and there are very few of those. These are folks that maybe have outlived multiple lifetimes even and have accumulated this wealth and power, and they reside in these areas. These are not people you know, but they are people maybe who have had some impact to your life. We can stop a moment. Crystal, did you get all set with a character and everything?
I have the pre-gen Boris.
Okay.
I was just going to play that if no one's playing him.
Okay. JT, did you pick that guy?
Yeah, JT, I think, took Burris. Did he not?
Okay, if you take Boris, I'll take someone else. That's no problem.
Would you?
Let me look through the.
Okay.
If you have someone that hasn't been taken, just let me know, and I'll play that person. Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, Crystal.
I honestly I've never heard of this show or book or anything. So
yeah, no worries. No worries. We're just getting into it. The cyberpunk future. Crystal, if you wouldn't mind, would you take Dr. Van Horn?
Sure, no problem.
All right, excellent. And we haven't really gone through the rules exactly. So basically, we're sort of describing your typical dystopian cyberpunk future taking place in San Francisco, California, 250 years from now. The area that you guys are pretty familiar with, the lower level here, it's kind of, we could call it street level, though as you can see there's kind of like always sort of multiple levels to everything. There's walkways and crossways. Kind of the lower you go, the less money you have in general. And everything's pretty crowded, even for as tall as these buildings are. uh, the cities are a busy place. Uh, you have your noodle houses, as you might expect. You have random pop-up uh, bars, um, and this is kind of the kind of money you guys have uh, set you up with. Just you buy a bottle of beer and a bowl of noodles. Um, so kind of one of the background pieces is the idea of digital human freight. And so in Altered Carbon, the person is not the body they inhabit, but rather the mind that inhabits the body. And the body is nothing more than property. And you sort of come out having to make payments on that property, even if it's something you were born into. Now, everybody has implanted one of these cortical stacks, and it goes right in the base of your neck here. And that stores uh, everything, all your thoughts, feelings, emotions, everything gets stored there. Everything that you know goes into your cortical stack. So in the event that either your body died or you wanted an upgrade, you can remove that cortical stack and put it into another body. And that's kind of or as we call it, a sleeve. We refer to, our Altered Carbon refers to it as just basically wearing a sleeve. Now, to put yourself in another body or a clone of yourself is very expensive. Um, and probably at this stage not within your reach. Uh, Even to put your cortical stack into a synthetic body would be quite expensive, and probably you would have to have you'd do some sort of loan, or there would be some business reason why that would be the case. So yeah, so basically uh, you would have your choice of bodies if you were wealthy. Um, you could choose certain enhancements, attractiveness, change your gender, whatever you wanted to do. You guys are more like into this area though, where you would be picking one of these, hoping that it would be an improvement in your current condition. So that's kind of the world of Altered Carbon. Um, and the noir world that we're operating in. And so for Altered Carbon, our system, we're looking to roll low, and the easiest way to roll low is to have small dice to do that. Um, if we roll under our ability, we're going to get degrees of success. So as you can see, if you had a D8 in something, that's pretty decent. If you had a D4, you're probably almost always going to make the roll, and so you would be a master in it. If you have a D12, probably not so great, and you could probably put your D20s away. I don't think we'll be rolling those tonight. We have our character sheet. Your abilities are, you kind of read them like percentages. You have a strength of 40. empathy on this guy of 30, acuity of 65. And those, we're going to use the first number for each of those things. So in the case of empathy, if we're going to do a read person, we would use a 3 out of that 30, and that would become our target number. And we would roll a D8 and try and get 3 or less. It's possible we could get a bonus to that. So maybe we're rolling 2 D8s and picking the best one. And we might get a bonus if we're trying to read our friend or relative, somebody that we have a lot of time spent with, and we might get a bonus on that. We do have some traits and abilities and networks. These might be some things that might increase or decrease your ability to do certain tasks up here. And you might have some baggage down here. Your health points are down here. Baggage and scandals, those might be things you were involved in. Generally, the older you are, the more baggage comes with you, with your sleeve, your personality, your cortical stack. Newer people haven't had enough time to create a ton of enemies. All right. And we're going to talk a little bit more about skills in a minute too. And then, so on the back side, we have credits and what wealth level you're at. Most of us are down here. If you're up 4s and 5s, that's where you basically can, wealth isn't a problem for you. You're sort of doing things, whatever you want to do. Some of us might have some weapons. We'll talk a little bit about triggered effects when we get into combat. Down here, some of us might have some upgrades to their current sleeve, and the type of sleeve might be identified here. And we'll talk a little bit about how those things work. Generally, your sleeve upgrades are going to give you either some additional skills or bonuses to those skills that were on the front. And so we talked a little bit about our target resolution number. We talked a little bit about how, like in the case of perception, if you're doing a search roll, if you had a perception of 45, that target resolution number would be 4. Possibly if you're doing like a digital networking, and maybe it was a particularly old server, it might be harder to access it. Maybe it's kind of an archaic or encrypted code. Then I might just set a base target number. It wouldn't be based on your attribute. And I'll tell you if that's the case. So in the event of that server that we're trying to do maybe a digital networking to, if you have training, some particular training on that, maybe you have older server training, that might give you a bonus to raise that target number, make it easier for you. And then maybe you even have some special gear that you brought along. And then that could also give you a bonus as well. And then basically you're rolling your die. You would roll your digital networking die, and you're comparing the number you rolled to the target number. You're trying to get as low as you can, and that gives you additional degrees of success. If you roll over, then you're getting degrees of failure, and of course no good will come of that. And then we'll just kind of ease into our game. I'm going to give you a little bit of a background and stuff of everybody, and you guys will help me out with some of those things. And then we'll do some rolls and stuff pretty early. All right, so as I mentioned, you guys are sort of in the street level world. You guys all know each other. Ken and Dr. Van Horn. Ken, you're Catholic, aren't you, Ken?
Let us see here. Don't see that.
Oh, okay. Bay City Police. Um, yeah, you're not. But you do know. Oh, Ken, your brother is Catholic.
Ah, yes, of
And
course.
that's how you're introduced to Dr. Van Horn, and who's also happens to be a Catholic.
Doctor.
And Burris happens to work with Dr. Van
Uh,
Horn. Burris is also Catholic.
I don't see on here Catholic. I see medical provider.
How about on their
Oh,
baggage
okay.
and
Yeah,
scandals?
baggage. Okay, there it is. All right.
Crystal, you can't tell me that being Catholic's not baggage of some kind. All right. So these folks have kind of got together along with Poe, who knows some Catholics. He always changes the subject if you ask him if he is Catholic. Uh, and they have an enterprise. You guys have an enterprise, and you do some organ retrieval through a company that you guys formed called Med Mortis, and having a resource like Ken is helpful. When organic damage cases are called in, Ken is available to uh, help you guys out with where that might be, and then maybe you guys can contact some folks. So in this particular case, you guys do have a pickup. It was a last minute call from the Gibsons, and their daughter died suddenly. Misadventure, ruling by Ken. And the death of a child, the worst nightmare for parents. And you guys plan to take Bart over. Um, since you have to haul the suspension cooler for Mary's organs. Oh, look at that. I lost my connection. Let's try that again. And sorry about that. Not sure why that guy's having some trouble. And you see your Med Mortis logo cooler on there. And it's a special suspension. It's powered, and that's the cooler that you're going to put Mary's organs in. And so Mary, being Catholic, as you guys know, she won't be re-sleeved. That's against the Catholic faith. And so you guys,
sorry, can I ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
So we typically would go to the body, take the organs out, and leave the body with the family, or?
Yeah. So if there was a typical, there is no typical. This is like your first run.
Oh, okay.
So your understanding is you're going to go retrieve the organs, and then more than that, you're not 100% sure what's going to happen. It might be that you guys are going to assist with like some sort of funeral arrangement or something like that.
Gotcha.
That's partially why everybody's here with you. It was kind of like a quick call, and you guys sort of jumped into it, and you're like, yeah, maybe we haven't really figured all this out. So the fact that you don't exactly know what's going on is
appropriate.
Yeah, it's very as appropriate as it gets. Okay, so you guys, and then the exit tube takes you over to the older downtown near St. Patrick's Cathedral, which looks a little bit like this. And that's kind of what you would expect for good Catholics. They would be over by St. Patrick's, so we're south of Licktown. And the rain maybe picks up a bit, but that doesn't seem to have stopped any of the Catholic protesters. The idea of bringing someone back to life after they died is a blasphemy the Pope can't abide. And the UN Protectorate that governs this section of the world is considering a ruling on Proposition 653. And that would require murder victims be brought back to testify against their murderers. Catholics in this quieter section of the city believe that would be bad with a capital B, and maybe a couple of you folks do too that are Catholic. And that's how you ended up forming your organ retrieval and transplant company, MedMortis. So you have Catholic connections and you're supportive to their cause, and you're hoping that your new business will take off with this first pickup. And the family has agreed to donate all of the viable organs of their 19-year-old daughter, Mary. And apparently, she had suffocated. And you're hoping that you'll be able to place the organs for a modest fee and help some other poor souls. So you guys can actually do the organ transplants with Dr. Van Horn. Okay, and then so you guys get to the house, and you're knocking, and there's no answer, and so you're kind of knocking, and then eventually the door opens up, and who you presume to be Mr. Gibson opens the door, but rather than usher you in, he stands with arms crossed and says, "Sorry, it's not going to work out this time. Very sorry for your trouble."
What do you mean?
Go ahead and give me a read person empathy, and go ahead and give me a plus. You can take a +2 on that.
Okay, so I'm rolling a d8. My empathy is 30, so I need a 5 or less.
That's it.
I got a 1.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, so he's obviously very upset, and you kind of get the impression that that he doesn't kind of agree with the idea of sending you guys away. That that there's something happened in between the phone call and this moment, and that's not a lot of time either.
Mr. Gibson, it was your daughter that died.
Yes, Mary.
Well, Mary's death, I realize it's hard on you, but Mary's death could potentially help others. Try to make the best of it. Don't you agree?
So you're you're gonna appeal to his Catholic nature of helping his fellow man. Go ahead and give me an expression.
Okay.
And go ahead and make that a +2.
All right.
And that's
so
also against empathy as well.
empathy,
Then.
so it'll be a 5 again.
Yeah.
Expression is d8 for me. This I get a 6, so I fail.
Oh, okay.
1 degree of success or failure. 1 degree of failure.
Okay. And yeah, and you see he's looking for a cross, a crucifix. And he's like, "You're not even Catholic, are you?"
No, but my colleagues here are, and I turn to Dr. Van Horn and kind of motion Dr. Van Horn forward.
Yes, I can assure you that all of my tithes are paid in full. I am a standing member of the church.
All right. Go ahead and give me an empathy check. You can make that. You make that +2, Dr. Van Horn. So you have
okay.
yeah. So then
My empathy. Give me a second. Let me. All right, empathy. I see. Okay, it's a 4.
Yep. +2 would be 6, and then you got a D8 for expression. With expression, expressing
okay.
your empathy.
So I have to make a 6 then, using
Or-
a D8.
Or less.
Okay. All right. Got it. I rolled a 7, so I failed by 1, I guess.
Oh, okay. All right. He's like, hey, we just don't want any trouble.
You guys know at this point, if I step up, you guys know I'm not going to be very diplomatic. We'll say if I.
Poe, you were kind of promised that this thing was going to
Yeah.
take off, that this Catholic network thing was supposed to work.
Yeah, so I start stepping up if nobody stops me. Let's just say I'm a little rough around the edges.
Yeah.
Sir, if I may, what were the last wishes of your daughter? Isn't it important to the Father above that those be carried out?
Yeah, he doesn't. He's just like, I think it's just better you go.
So Poe steps up, says, "We're here. We have a job. We came here to pick up, and it's all. It's a little late to be canceling out, especially given the nature of the cargo that we're picking up. So
Yes.
I think it's time we just move on with the job and pay us, give us the body parts now."
Yeah, there you go. It's the contract. It's
Yeah,
the
there's a contract. So basically, I'm being a little bit intimidating. If that's
Exactly. Go ahead and go
Um,
ahead. Intimidation against your will.
okay, so I have a +1 intimidation, so that 4 becomes a 5 from
Yep.
willpower,
Yep.
and a D8. I have to get a 5 or less. 2.
There we go. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then he's just like, damn it. And he goes, just come on, get inside. And he goes, and then he yells out inside as he goes in with you. He goes, Helen, the Med Mortis folks are here. And the place looks like it's in a little bit of disarray. Though you do see the crucifix of a devout Catholic in some pictures. And Mrs. Gibson speaks to you with a shaky, but, I don't know. I was going to shaky but firm, but that's impossible. So she has kind of a shaky voice, but you can see her eyes are set on something.
Mrs. Gibson, tell us about your daughter.
And
Actually, hello.
yeah, go ahead.
Before he does that, can I try to see what her eyes are fixed on, or is it obvious? Or
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead and make a perception, a detection roll against your perception for me.
okay, yeah, let's
JT.
see then. Yeah, I can do that. Right. That's going to be a D10 for me. Woo.
What's your target number?
My target number was 4, and I actually got a 10.
Oh, you got a 10. Okay.
Yeah, so 6 degrees of failure, I guess.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
also the lowest I could possibly, or the highest I could possibly get on the roll.
Yeah. So, yeah, it looks like she's judging you for something. Like she can tell that you're a criminal of some kind. And that you're sullying her house. Ken, go ahead and make a detection.
Sure.
Or Matt, yeah, go ahead and make a detection
Let's see,
perception
that's
roll.
a D6. I have a 4 in that. And I get a 4.
All right. Yeah, it looks like she has blood soaking through her sleeve. Sleeve of her right hand or arm,
Okay.
I guess I should say.
I guess my right hand kind of goes to my hip where my pistol is. I'm not going to draw it, but I'm going to reach out to her. You look like you've cut yourself. Are you okay?
Dr. Van would, once he mentions the cut, look at it and uh, can I determine anything just by observing where the injury is, maybe what kind of injury it would be, or
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Go ahead and make a. I'll let both you guys go ahead and make an expression empathy roll for me, both you folks.
I fail.
all right. So, no, one above what I needed.
Okay. All right. So yeah, so there is this slash. You guys pull up the sleeve, and there's a slash, and you hear her say, "He had razors in his metal hands."
Who did?
So this is for uh, Ken, I guess. Ken, go ahead and make an investigation acuity roll. Target level 8.
Okay.
Should be able to
easy
make that one.
do. Yep. 3.
Yeah. So you reference your Oni, and you would suspect that's a match to a guy you knew as Razor Rukar, a criminal. Go ahead and make a data analysis roll for me.
Okay. This is not too good.
Am I able to do that at once? Did you say the name Razor? No.
Rukar?
As soon as I.
Yeah, as soon as you say it.
Yeah. So I got a 2 out of 6.
Yeah, so, okay.
Razor Rukar. Are you talking about someone named Razor Rukar?
She says he didn't give me a name. He typically hangs out at the Stevie Licks on Greenwich in Licktown. She says he has our Mary.
Wait a second. You're Mary. She's not dead? I thought she suffocated.
She is dead. He took the body.
I don't like it when things get complicated like this.
Yeah, welcome to Noir.
Yeah.
And
Well, at least allow me to look at that wound of yours before we make our way to see what we can do about Mary. And I would like to try to basically clean her wound up, stitch it up as best I can
Yeah,
with whatever medical equipment I would have with me.
yeah, and you do have all the equipment needed for that. If you want to go ahead and make a medicine roll.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can tell
I have
that
a D6 in medicine, and my intelligence is like 6 and 5.
Yeah, so you're kind of just looking for degrees of success at this point.
Okay, all right. So I just roll a D6 and see how well I do.
Yeah, I guess.
And I rolled a 1.
Yeah, technically,
Wow.
you wouldn't have to roll for that, but since we're practicing, yeah. So you don't have any trouble stitching this up, and basically you would do a wound seal on it. They had put some coagulant on it, and you're gonna help them minimize the scar. It was definitely nasty. I actually with that roll, I'll tell you. It was done in such a way that there was very little chance that she would be killed, even though it was quite a severe cut in a dangerous area. It seemed like either it was very lucky or it was extremely skillful. So the kind of thing that it would require a doctor to do.
Well, I can tell you, everyone, that we're definitely dealing with some kind of a professional, according to the way this cut was done. Very skillful operation indeed, or extremely lucky, though I'm not sure I believe so much the latter.
Mr. and Mrs. Gibson, did someone just come and take her body? Did this Rukar fellow do that? Do you have any idea why he might have done it?
I thought it was something that maybe you guys set up. I guess not.
No,
Um,
at all.
so Burris is a criminal, and I think that he's sort of, as soon as he heard the name Rukar, he's probably sort of like become a bit pensive. Is there any chance that he might know anything more about Rukar, or maybe he has a contact that could fill him in?
I like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a. Let's go with. Oh, let's go with your cultures.
All right.
Culture streetwise.
Perfect. And remind me again, what does my specialization do with that?
Basically, this would allow you to make this roll your D12 roll with no penalties. I'll tell you what, though, I'll give you a bonus die for that. So you can
Okay.
roll 2 D12s and pick the best one.
All right. Okay, yeah. So one of my D12s came up a 2. So I
All
think
right.
I'm going to go with that one. And do you need my levels of success?
I think I got it because I got your
Okay.
character here.
Okay, cool.
So you know Rukar as kind of he's the type of criminal that is always one of the first guys to if there's any kind of scheme of any kind, he's like one of the first guys to get in on it, and he likes kind of novel type schemes. So he's one of those kinds of guys. Um, uh, he's also somebody who really works against the percentages. So he's never going to do more than he has to, but he's pretty good about putting just the right amount of resources in things. And so he's a pretty successful guy, and that also means that he's not sloppy, and he does things for a reason.
That
That's kinda-
opportunistic prick.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's definitely that.
Now, is it possible, while everyone is doing their thing now, is for me to try to go, I don't know, look for him right now, like go online if there's, find a way, I don't know if there's access cameras or digital footprints or something. Is there a way? See if I can find out where he might be.
Oh, okay. Like where he is currently.
Yes, or where he might have been, a few minutes ago or something like that. Or
I'll share with them the information that I got from my Oni about where he normally hangs.
Yeah, it's Stevie Licks.
Yep. So maybe you can access the cameras at Stevie Licks or that area.
is that possible from where we are now?
And I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Is there another way I can track where he might have been? Feeds, maybe using police feeds. I don't know.
Yeah, or Ken could check on that for you, I suppose.
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, I will kind of give it up to you a little bit, Ken. Do you want Poe? Do you want to give Poe any access to the police networking
Network
stuff?
no,
I trust me.
And then, do you guys want to do this in the living room of the Gibsons? Who are like, so are you going to be able to help us?
Well, listen here. Take my card. If you get contacted by anyone else about this matter, call us. Maybe we should go to this this place where he hangs out, or at least talk about it outside.
Stevie Licks.
Poe just gets up and walks out.
Okay.
Kind of nod to them as we leave.
Well, time is money. Let's go.
We'll try to find her.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys bail. You guys head to Licktown. Well, you pretty much know you're in Licktown when the ads start popping up. It starts displaying casts of a hedonistic nature. And you guys exit the overground BART and make your way to Greenwich. Okay.
What kind of establishment is Stevie Licks? If I look that up on the net.
Oh, so that's the kind of place that gets busted for drugs and prostitution related crimes.
Is it like a
Hey,
bar?
my kind of place.
What does it look like? Why, it looks a lot like this. So there's a big flashing sign. It doesn't take you very long to find Stevie Licks. And is prostitution illegal? Yes. Yes, drugs and prostitution. Some drugs are legal, and but yeah, otherwise it's illegal. And then, though there are designated areas and licensing and different things, so that, but oftentimes those licenses are not in order, or the area expanded. So, yeah, so it's all that kind of thing. All right.
Oh, sorry.
I can't take that music anymore.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, can I have filled in my companions about what I knew about the guy we're looking for, Rukar?
Sure. Yeah, and you guys took BART over, so which is the train, kind of like what you went over to old downtown in. So you'd have plenty of opportunity for that.
So you're saying this guy's trouble then?
Yeah, some of the worst kind of trouble.
That sounds good. So then I'm going to go ahead and give you a +2 to that detection roll against your perception for you folks that are there.
All right.
I think is all of you.
So what are we rolling? Sorry, detection.
Yep, against detection +2 against your perception.
All right.
I got 5 degrees of success.
1 degree of success.
All right.
Okay, I'm maybe not quite understanding, but okay, you said detection +2, and my detection's a D8. So does that mean I roll a D10?
No, roll a D8 and add +2 to your.
The tens modifier of your perception.
Yeah. So your perception is 45. So make it a 6, and roll against a 6 with your perception. Detection of D8. Yeah. So you rolling a D8, trying to get 6 or less.
Okay, I rolled a 4.
All right, you got it. So yeah, so you guys see this big hulking guy. Actually, it looks a lot like. Oh no, not the music again. You guys see this guy, and he comes charging over. So you guys were checking out this near the sign here of Stevie Licks. This guy's not there.
Oh, you can use them for me.
I'll tell you what. Do you like this guy? We'll make this guy you.
He looks
All right.
intimidating.
Yeah. Okay, so this guy comes running over. So we have combat, kind of, is what we're going to do. And so maybe we come back to this. There we go. So because, so we're still technically in our narrative phase. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit about how this works. So, since we're in our narrative phase, that you guys see this guy, and you saw he was kind of moving towards you, and you guys are like, this looks like he's doing it with malice. So, you guys sort of have this period of time to do something before combat starts. Now, if you are going to use, like, let's say you're going to pull a gun out or something like that, that whatever that action is, it's going to sacrifice some speed dice here. So it'd probably just be one. Like if you're pulling a weapon or getting ready to do some combat of some kind, pulling a blade, something like that, then you're going to sacrifice a speed die. Otherwise, the number of dice you have that you're going to roll is going to be your perception bonus. And then if anybody else has a particular bonus for the type of combat that they're going to use, like a melee combat or something like that. So some sort of weapon or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, so my perception being 35 means I have a speed of 3, a base speed of 3.
Yeah. Yep. So you're going to roll 3 speed dice then.
And what is the speed die?
Oh, a 6-sider.
Oh,
Sorry.
6. Okay.
Yeah. So you want to have a few 6-siders handy.
Okay.
And I'm
And
going to do
then-
the same thing.
If my intention is to pull out my pistol and do something like shout, Bay City Police, back off, and kind of menace him with the gun, does that,
Yeah.
do I
Okay.
use my firearms pistol +1? How does that come into this?
So you could say that at this point and draw your pistol, and you're going to sacrifice a speed die then.
Okay. So my
And-
perception is 4, so I'm going to roll 3 speed dice.
Right.
And I was gonna basically move out of the way. That be just a straight up 3 dice, or do I?
Okay, so now what we're going to do is the person who rolls lowest, because lowest wins in this game, you're going to pick your lowest die, and that's who gets to go first. And for most of your actions, 1 die would be enough. So you could use 1 die to get out of the way, or 1 die to engage in combat. And it's possible though. And this is, so we're talking a little bit about choosing a speed die to be active and reveal who has the lowest to go first. Some actions require multiple speed dice. I don't think any of us have that exactly tonight, but it might be if you're going to charge up a weapon or something. And though it's possible that you might see my attacker have something like that. Okay, so with speed dice, we're going to decide who goes first, who's going to be the active person. So I do have a 1, and basically you can tell that my guy's making a charge attack. So that's really what it looks like. So does anybody else have a 1?
So I've got a
I rolled a 1.
Okay, so
Sorry.
I have a perception of 45, so I roll 4d6.
That's correct.
Okay.
Unless you're so. If you, here's the thing. So if you draw a weapon, you lose a dice.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So if you had drawn a weapon um, in that narrative phase, because now that we're officially in like the combat phase, um, yeah, you would lose a die because you had done that prior action.
Cool.
So I
Which
got a 1, a
it's
4, and a 5. It sounds like JT
okay.
got a 1.
I got a 1 also. Yeah.
Does anybody beat a perception of 45?
Nope.
I match it.
Okay, I'll let you go first.
Okay. Yeah. So Burris had definitely drawn his blade in anticipation when he sees this guy charging. And
Yep.
he sort of like takes a stance. I guess he's gonna try to just slash out at the guy if he's close enough.
Okay, so we're going to make you the active player then,
Okay.
because you're going to go first, and then you're going to do a check. So you're going to be using your melee combat blade +1, I think, right?
Right.
Yeah. Okay. So and that's the check you're going to roll, and which is down here. So your target result number is your strength. My guy does not have any defense value. He does have some kind of cybernetic or carbon skeletal covered arm of some kind, and he's going to try and knock your blade away. So what I'm going to do, and the way I would do that is I would spend my speed die, which matches your same number. I also have a 1, so here you can see right there. So I'm going to burn that to do a parry of your attack.
So
Okay.
is this like an opposed roll now?
Yeah, it is. So I'm going to be looking for degrees of success. I'm hoping I'm going to get some more degrees of success. How'd you do? You got a 7. Okay. All right. So he failed. Now, and he failed by 1 or 2. So I'm going to be able to leverage that failure. I did succeed in mine. So it's possible that I might be using that to knock the blade out of his hand entirely. Okay, so that was our active player, and that was our melee attack. So let's go back to, we can go back to our next next highest die. I did get a 2 as well.
Yeah, I've still got a 1 that I haven't spent yet.
Oh, okay, let's go ahead and go with that 1.
Okay. So I guess I've got the pistol out, and since he's assaulting my buddy or trying to take the knife away from my buddy, I'm going to shoot him.
All right.
Okay, so I'm making a firearms roll against my perception. I've got firearms +1, perception of 4. So is it it's a D8 against 5?
That's right.
Okay. I get a 1. So
Okay.
4 degrees of success.
Okay. So now that sounds good. I don't have, as we talked about, I don't have a 1, so I can't make a dodge to get out of the way or anything like that. So that attack's going to go off. I didn't have defense, so that didn't change your target resolution number. So now, if we take a look at your gun, Ken,
Damage D6 +4, and then it has multiple triggered effects.
yeah, and that's where we're going to go to our resolution piece. So you can resolve your triggered effects. So you succeeded by like You said 4 degrees of success.
Yeah, I got a 1, and my target was a 5.
Yeah, 4 degrees. So you can
So could I use
actually
like?
we'd
Sorry,
say
it
you're
says
at
that.
point blank damage.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So I could do the triggered effect of point blank damage. Is that how that
Yeah,
works?
yeah, and that so you can do 2 of those because for 2 um, 2 degrees of success you could do one, you could do 1.
Oh wow.
And so yeah, so you blasted twice. So you have yeah,
3d6 twice.
6, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, so the first roll is 10 points, and that's the 3d6, and then the second 3d6 is 7.
Okay. Yep, so you did 17. Um, so you put a hole in them. Okay, and all right, and sounds great. And
So how do wounds work normally? If
yeah, so if you notice, like you had 40, your damage threshold was 40,
uh-huh.
so you took about half of his wounds, and then the damage threshold is kind of like I think of it as light damage. You don't really worry um, about living and dying until you get into health points. And then what you're doing is every time you get hit in the health points, you have to make a save against the damage to your cortical stack. So you can keep fighting into the health points, but you're risking real death. You know, when you don't come re-sleeved, you can't re-sleeve if there's damage to your cortical stack.
So you subtract the damage initially from the damage threshold,
Yeah,
and
and
then once
yep,
that's gone, it goes to health points.
exactly.
Okay.
So he's uh, still fighting, um, though you know he can't really keep doing that. So he's you know he's he's gonna have to he's probably gonna bail at some point. All right. So we're kind of going back then to whoever has the who's the next active player. We're done with ones, and then we're on to twos.
I have it too.
And I have it too. So you can go first.
Okay. Dr. Von Holmes is gonna look at him once the gun goes off and everything, and he's gonna tell that guy, "Hey, I've seen that kind of bullet wound before. If you don't let me take care of that right now, you're gonna bleed out." And I'm gonna try and convince him to kind of back down and let me look at his wound.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Do you want to roll that under? Um, you want to do that under expression?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a D8, and then your empathy is 4, so you're looking for 4 or less.
Roll a 6.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's hearing you. He's just hearing the red hot volcanic rage in his ears right now.
Okay.
Just hears himself screaming. Okay, Poe, are you next then? I
Yeah.
think you have a pistol too.
Yeah, well, I didn't reduce the die, so I didn't try it. How far away from me? Well, I guess I'll just.
Hey, I could show you that. Let's see what it looks like. Where are we at? This guy. Yeah, let's see. So he's engaged with Burris. Yeah. So he's like right here. And here's Ken. Here's you. You're right here. You're yelling at him. Hey, you're gonna bleed out.
I move in not too close because I don't want him targeting me. but close enough to say, you know what? The odds don't look good for you. I suggest you drop to the ground now, and you might actually survive this intact. If not, you risk permanent death because those two are not going to let up.
All right. And then, Poe, can you do me a favor and make a detection check for me?
I doubt it. I'm not very perceptive. Let's see, a D8, and I have to get a 3, and I got a 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not worried about his friends. I'm focused on him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so would I be able to intimidate him into giving up?
So let's, go ahead and make an intimidation roll.
All right, so that's a +1, so 5 on a D8. 3.
Okay.
So 2, 2 degrees.
Okay. Yeah. So, let's see. I'm going to roll against his composure, and let's see if you. He's he shakes that off. He's not. He's going to show you intimidation. I rolled a 1, so yeah. So he's not going to worry about that.
Well, I warned you.
Especially with all these spectators around. So, okay. That's all the 2s. All right, I'm going to save my 2, and then you see these lights. I don't know if you saw his picture. He had these lights firing up. So you know something good is coming. He has these lights down here. They start filling in some sort of sequence, sinister sequence of some kind.
Quick
All right.
question. So we still have. So I rolled on my speed dice a 2, 2, and a 6. So we keep all those.
Yeah. So we're not. Yeah, we're still sort of going back and forth in the round. So for my 2, I'm saving it. And you have another 2?
I do. I have a 2.
Okay.
I have
and a
another
6.
2 as well.
All right. So we'll go to you guys then.
After he doesn't get intimidated, I am going to find some cover.
Oh, okay. So are you kind of bailing out of the whole area?
No, I just want to get a little further away so that I'm a little safer, but I still want a clear shot at him if I decide to pull out my gun later.
Okay, because do you want to back into the street? There's a couple of motorcycles.
That's me.
Oh, it is. You're right. Do you want to back over? There's a big pile of trash you can cower behind if you want.
I didn't say cower.
It's a tactical retreat.
It's a tactical. I am not skilled at this combat, so that's why I'm just backing up a little. My job was to intimidate him. He didn't get intimidated, so I'll just get some cover. Yeah, I'm not stupid.
I'll let you make another detection roll, though.
Let's see. On a D8, and I had to get a 3 or less, I decided to roll an 8.
Oh, okay. All right, excellent.
It's a big pile of garbage. I can't see around it.
You're distracted by these girls that come over.
Okay, that's
Hey,
valid.
big fella. And then this guy. Hey, what are you doing in Licktown? Okay, and then Dr. Van Horn. Crystal, what are you doing?
Dr. Van Horn is going to like, he's trying to talk to him still. He's going to say, even though he has no idea what this guy's actually about to do, he's going to say, hey, listen, I know what you're about to do. And if you do that, you're going to rip an artery with that gunshot that you took earlier. Like, you really need to calm down. Let me look at your wound.
All right, I like it. Let's go ahead and do that expression again.
All right. No bonuses or anything, just straight up expression.
I think so.
Okay. Nope. I rolled another 6. I like those 6s.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. So my last 2 dice are 6s, so I'm stuck until then. Does anybody else have anything before 6?
Yeah. Can we ask what saving a die does?
Yeah. So saving a die would allow you, in the event that, like, let's say in this case, he's winding up on, uh, let's say, Burris. Um, Burris would be able to make a melee combat parry attempt
I see.
if he has a die that goes before or on the same time as this monster,
Gotcha.
Chaos Cultist. Um, so that would be a reason to save it.
Okay.
The other thing would be, if, like in his case, you could see that he's powering these things up. It takes 2 speed dice for him to load his cybernetic arm.
Got it. So my next die is a 4.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to go now?
Yep.
All right.
I want to put him out. Since
Okay.
he's not going to pay attention to the doctor's very persuasive arguments.
Trying to help. Yeah, I mean, this is like the most Mirandized a Licktown perp has ever been, I think.
That's right. All right. Firearms of D8 against a perception of 4. Firearms +1, so 5. I miss on the speed die of 4. I get 2 degrees of failure, I guess.
Oh, okay. All right. And then these are all degrees of failure that he can use, actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Dr. Van Horn. It's your turn. I got nothing to do for a little bit.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I have a 4 as well. Like with it being my turn, like I know you said you can sacrifice the speed die to like grab something or pull something out. Like if it's your turn, can you pull something out or?
Yeah, and so this is basically, so we go back to who would be the active player. We just did 4s.
I'm on a 4 now, so that's what
Okay.
I'm wondering.
Yeah.
Sorry to say, I missed my 3, but I don't mind giving it up this round if it's going to cause problems. But I do have a 4.
Oh, that's all right. You can do both. If you want to go now, you can do that. You could hold on to that 3 because it looks like this guy's winding up to knock you out. He's trying to take your head off. So you could use it to parry or dodge him if you want. I did mention that he's going on a 6. Technically, I don't have to tell you what my dice are.
Okay.
And I will also say, though, the game is a little, you can tell they haven't really decided what they want to do about that, if they want to keep it secret or not, because they kind of give you that option if you want to do that. I think to kind of help things move along, I don't have a problem, with that. It's not going to change my guy, what he's going to do. Whether you're going to shoot at him or not, he's just going to try and weather it and then punch somebody's head off and then be a big man. Take that, Dad. I mean, so yeah. So I think we were at 4s. Burris, JT, do you want to save that 3 and for him, or do you want to? I think Crystal's okay if you want to go ahead and take your 3 action.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry
okay
for
with that.
interrupting, Crystal. I didn't mean to sort of get in the way.
You're fine. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, so I was disarmed before, right? He knocked it out of my hand since I failed my check, or no?
Oh, yeah. So I'll tell you what, actually, that's a good question. I think I was going to have you make a, you're going to have to make a, let's say athletics check to hold on to it.
Okay. Well, I can do that. All right, let's see. All right, so that was 2 degrees of failure.
Okay. All right. So he did disarm you then.
Okay.
And I guess we can use the 3 for that.
Okay, that works. Perfect.
Yeah. And then, so now we're on to the 4. So you can decide if you want to bail out of the area or what you sort of want to do. We'll put you back as the active player.
Okay. So he was like winding up to punch me or whatever. Since I have an action, I could potentially try to get out of the way of that, I assume. And
Yeah. So you have the option of like doing a parry type thing if you had something to parry with, or you can do an athletics to dodge.
cool. So just out of curiosity, would it be a stretch if I try to do something like roll out of the way and potentially try to like pick up my knife if it hasn't gone too far? Or does that gonna take like 2 actions or something?
No, I would give that to you. I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to, I'll penalize you on your athletics check though, -1.
Okay. Okay. I can deal with that. It's gonna be a stretch, but I'll try it out.
All right. Okay. So on your 4, you're going to, you're going to hold it. You're going to wait for him to go.
Right.
And then, okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Dr. Van Horn, Crystal, you're 4.
Okay, so I was wondering if I can pull something out. Okay, I don't have this specifically on me, but if I have like medical supplies, I was wondering if I could pull out like a tranquilizer, some kind of sedative that I could maybe attempt to poke this guy with eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you want a ready hypodermic needle?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to pull from my med kit like some kind of like sedative, muscle relaxer, something that will, when it's my turn, maybe I can poke this guy in the neck and put him down.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yep, totally. Okay, and that was 4s. Any other 4s? Are we on to 5s?
I've got a 5.
All right.
So I guess what I am going to do is, yeah, this guy needs to go down, and he's not paying attention to a police officer, so I'm going to shoot him again.
Yeah, absolutely. With your lawgiver. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this time, you're going to go ahead and roll as normal. The other thing you're going to do, though, is after the first round, we have to worry about a depletion check. Because so you're sort of popping off rounds. For as crunchy as this game is, it doesn't actually have you keep track of ammo in a traditional way. So what you're going to do is you're going to roll, you're just going to roll a different die with your regular skill check. And yeah, and then your base TR for this die is the capacity entry of the equipment with the penalty of 1 difficulty per depletion point. So basically, I think yours is 6, and so you have to just roll under a 6.
So do I roll the
or a 5
same
at this point?
die type that I roll for the skill check?
Yeah, I think that's
So
easiest.
another D8. we go. Okay. So I have a different colored die so I can tell them apart. Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's the
on
same.
the skill roll, I got a terrible success or a terrible failure. I rolled an 8, so I'm 3 over.
Oh, okay.
The depletion, I rolled the exact number. Well, okay. What was the target number for the depletion? 5?
5, yeah.
Okay, yeah, I rolled a 5.
Okay, next time it'll be 4.
Okay.
Okay, so you rolled a 5. So it still has some bullets in it. We'll see where the other bullets end up, maybe. But all right.
So you said he gets to use my successes or my failures?
Yeah. So yeah. So that gets to the resolution. The active player may resolve one or more of their own successes and or one or more of their opponent's failures, degrees of failure from previous rounds.
This is going to be bad for me.
Yeah, it does say previous rounds.
Potentially.
I'll have to double check which are rounds, but I think he would be able to use that now. And then these degrees are used to utilize triggered effects, and then you apply the wound result. Intent. Just double check and see if I had something listed as a round. Yeah, I think these are rounds, and then the whole thing's a turn.
I think you're right. I'm kind of looking. I think each sort of spend of a die is a round.
Yeah, that's what it seems like to me too.
Okay. All right. It seems like that would be the way I would do it if I was trying to make this manageable. Okay. All right. So that was that 5s?
That was a 5 for me, yeah.
Anybody else? All right. And this also doesn't look like a surgery type guy. This probably isn't Razor Rukar. Okay. All right. So Razor goes, or said Razor. Chaos Cultist goes, and so he's going to swing. Let's see how he does. And let's see how you do, Burris. Maybe you're going to quick dodge out of the way.
All right, let's see. Okay, and it's a -1 penalty, you said, right?
I might roll that again because I don't think we need to do a 1. There we go. I still hit. Just probably don't need a 1.
Yeah, I failed by 2.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
so you're going to take this on the chin. All right. I'll just roll all of my green dice. So let's see what we get. So all right, let's just call it 25. So he knocks you like into the street. He hits you so hard your kids are dizzy, and you don't even have kids yet. So he knocks you into the middle of these motorcycles. And he still has one more action.
Do I subtract that from my damage threshold, you said, the 25, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think what he's going to do is he'll take a swing at, I think he's going to take a swing at Ken.
I have no dice left, so I can't do anything about this. He just asked me or not.
Okay. Yeah, so that is a hit. But he's powered down, so that's only 9 points.
I also have a 6, so can I go again?
Yes, you can. You go right now.
All right. Can I try to pop him with that sedative?
Yeah. Yeah, and so it'd be a melee attack. It would be I think we'd call it unarmed.
Okay. I see brawl and I see melee combat.
Yeah, you know, I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess I would give you either one. It could be brawl, could be melee combat. You could roll either one. You don't have a skill or trait in it, so I guess we're going to give you a -1 to your target resolution number, and this would be
Great.
strength, so it's going to be kind of hard to get it into them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you probably want to go with melee combat though, because that
Yeah.
gets you a D10 versus a D12.
Nat 10.
Okay, now here's the other thing. I am going to give you a luck roll. I'm going to give you a luck roll of D8. So this game does have luck, and the luck can be really different categorizations. I'm going to give you a beginner's luck because we'll see if because of the things you were saying to him, maybe there's a chance he wasn't really considering you a threat in any way. So you're going to roll a D8, and you're going to use that result.
Okay, I rolled a 3.
Okay. All right. Okay. Where are we at? So, yeah, so we'll go with that. All right. So you inject him, and let's see if he's going to. So it was a pretty strong sedative, I imagine.
I mean, best thing I would have had on me. So
Okay. All right. So he's going to have to make a toughness roll. Let's see if how long he's up for. Oh man. So I just rolled a 1. Okay. So you did stick him, but he doesn't go down yet. All right. So probably he's jacked up a little bit on some amphetamines. So he'll have a big headache when he's done. But all right.
Guess it's my turn on the
Yep.
6. I've seen the lights on his belt.
Yeah.
Is there a way I could identify what those are?
Yeah.
Attempt.
Yeah, they're capacitors basically. So he's powering up like a hydraulic like a snap reaction for his arm.
If I want to disable that, I'd have to get a lot closer to him, or I could do it from here.
I don't know that there's a capability of taking this remotely.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think there is.
Do I think I can get close enough and do something quickly to disable that?
You want to target that specific thing?
Yes.
Yeah, you could do that.
Okay, now would I have to get up and do like a mechanics check, or shooting it might work, or?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is that you would just shoot the device itself.
Because I'm better. Let's just put. I'd rather maybe walk up and do a mechanics check if I think I can. That's possible.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just like grab something and rip it free.
Yeah, like unplug it or something.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you a brawl check on that. You're going to try and unplug something.
A brawl. Okay, no. I'd rather shoot than brawl. I was thinking mechanics, going in, pushing a button or something. But yeah, I'll shoot then, if that's my option. Okay. I say sorry, folks. They need me. They can't do anything without me. And I don't have my gun out, so I guess my action will be to pull the gun out.
I guess so. Yeah. So
Okay.
you'll spend a speed die to do that.
So yeah. So basically, I pull out the gun and say, "Sorry, folks. They're gonna need me, and you probably don't want to be near that guy. He's a cop, so you might want to leave."
Okay. All right. Yeah, and they'll drift off. You're not interested in cops. Okay.
I'll come find you later.
Is that all? Is that everybody?
Yeah, I'm out of dice.
Okay. All right. Let's go do it again. I think we're done.
So we roll all four of our, all whatever our perception is.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and then if there's any reason why you lost any for anything, then you wouldn't roll those. But
And we don't get a chance to like do any actions because that's only at the beginning of the combat, I assume. Like before we could sacrifice the speed dice to do actions, or
actually, well, you could use a speed die to do an action.
before
the rest of the turn, or
is it just on its number now?
Yeah, now we're in it. Think we're in the Matrix now. So
yeah.
So if you're dropping the bag and pulling the guns out, all that stuff happens with speed dice, basically.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I just wanted to check. All right, so we're not sacrificing to do stuff like before anyone else gets to act or anything. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So my first die is a 3, so I'm not going till then.
Cool.
I got a 1.
I've got
all right.
Crystal, go ahead.
Yeah, Crystal, what do you want to do?
Since I just injected him, I know he should be going down soon. I'm gonna head on over to the guy who got knocked into the motorcycles. Is it Boris? Oh, Boris, my lab assistant. Yeah, I'll definitely head over to him and make sure he's okay. And I'm just gonna kind of like walk calmly. Like I'm just gonna kind of like toss the, syringe down and just kind of walk over there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you'll go check on him. Check on Burris. That sounds good.
Okay, so with my 1, I briefly glance around at me, noticing that I'm the only one still engaged with him. And I shoot again.
Okay.
So I got to roll the depletion die again?
Yeah. Yep. With a lower number now, it's 4 or less
4.
now.
Okay. Okay, so on the depletion die, I got a 1.
Okay.
And then on the attack roll, I needed a 5 and I got a 6, so I missed.
Man,
just
okay.
Like point blank shooting at this guy and no effect.
Yeah, that's tough. For sure. Okay, and then
He's
next
probably like lifting that metal arm and like bullets are just bouncing off of it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else?
Are we done with the ones?
I think so.
Then I would like to attempt to shoot that arm, or the power source.
Yeah. Okay.
So I am not good at this. I have a D10, and my target is a 3 + 1, so 4.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a -1 to hit it.
Okay, so on a D10, I got a 30% chance of hitting this. Okay.
There you go. I can't go wrong with that.
7.
Except for that. So you have a few degrees of failure on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Are we on 2s right now?
Yeah, we are on 2s.
Okay, I have a 2. So now that I'm over to Burris, I'm gonna just kind of be like, "Hey, you okay? Don't try to move too much." And I'm gonna start checking him over, uh, look at to make sure he doesn't have a concussion or something like that.
He sort of does, but he's used to it. Uh, he thinks Trump is president, so that's how crazy he is. I don't. Yeah, I don't
No,
think
no,
we
no.
have.
That's what got us here in the first place.
There we go. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, and we'll we don't have med pack stuff, but I'm sure there is something because we saw it in the TV show, the wound weld stuff. So you can start doing that, stitching them back up. All right. Anybody else before 3?
Yeah, I've got 2 2s.
Okay.
So I look at my pistol in disbelief and then point it at his chest and fire it again. Now, is my reload or depletion now down another point?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's
Oh.
getting worse and worse.
Did I have to roll something for the ammo?
Not yet, I don't think.
Okay.
Okay, so I failed both. So my gun must be out of ammo and I missed.
Yeah, that's not good. So you're exhausted. So yeah, you'd have to do a reload at this point.
So can I use my second 2 to move away from him? Is that how this works?
I would save it for a dodge,
Okay.
or or
Sure.
a parry or something.
Yep. I will do that.
All right. So on his 3, he starts to fire up the capacitor. You start seeing the lights going again.
I also have a 3. I don't know if there's anything I could really do with it. I guess I'll just save it
Okay.
in case he comes for me.
I've got 2 3s. And so I got knocked down to the ground, I'm assuming, when he got me on the chin, or was I? Yeah. Okay. How many actions would it take then to sort of like get up and try to get my knife?
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we were gonna. Yeah. What you? Yeah. It
Yeah.
would. Yeah. So I'll tell you what. If you make an athletics check, you can have it 1.
Okay.
Does he
I'll
get any
try that
kind
then.
of advantage or anything since I was helping him with my 2?
No, but I am gonna give him like 5 health points back.
Oh, nice. I'll take it. I need all the help I can get.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Dr. Van
All
Horn's like,
right.
I'm not done yet, and you're like, I gotta go. Okay. So yeah, you're gonna make an athletics check against your.
Yeah. I got 1 degree of success.
That's all you needed. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, and then you could use your other die to attack then with your blade.
Yeah. How far away? Oh, so, can I be engaged with him then, or?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna say that you're
Okay.
kind of
Because
charging.
otherwise, I could try throwing the knife, but yeah, melee is probably better. All right.
Probably.
Yeah. All right. Your mistake was making sure I didn't stay down, and then I like slash at him again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And all right, yeah. So I got that's 3 levels of success on that.
Okay. So yeah, and then with the blade, you have accuracy.
Ooh.
So that gives you, when you have accuracy on your attack, then it does like some additional damage, kind of a thing.
Ooh, cool.
All I got to do is find it now.
It also apparently has armor piercing.
Yeah, which for him, he doesn't have armor, so it's not as big a deal. But okay, yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, yeah. So you can resolve extra degrees of success in the same action to combine additional or the same triggered effect. So basically, um, oh, we don't have any damage listed for that blade, do we?
It just said melee blade +1, which I assumed was for my target number, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if we can see if we have that.
I mean, you can ad-lib it if you want to. Whatever
Yeah.
you think's fair.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and go 3d6.
Okay. Okay. That 3d6 was 13.
Okay.
Do I add on, or can I add on the degrees of success, or?
That's kind of what I was thinking we did. Here, I got weapons. And this is just the gun. And I got apparel. But I think here's equipment. Here's injuries. Here's beam rifle. Here's blade. Armor piercing. I guess. Yeah, hit. Inflict damage against the target and gives you accuracy. And it has no damage listed. Okay. So if a pistol was, the sidearm is D6 plus 4, I'm going to say that your knife is a D6, your blade's a D6. So
Okay.
yeah. So that.
Do you want me to re-roll, or?
No. Well, are you disappointed with your 13?
No, I'm not.
All right.
Okay. It was still 3d6 though, right?
Yeah, with your degrees of success.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't think a knife and a 357 would do the same amount of damage. I think a knife would be less.
Oh, I agree. Yeah, for
There's
sure.
no hydroshock effect.
Yeah.
Okay. But, I think at this point, since nobody's going down, he's probably going to back off at this point anyway. So I think you've probably achieved your objective for now. He's going to hold his guts in,
All right.
and then he's backing off, and this person helps carry him away. And then she yells at you some very not nice things.
What the heck was that about?
Yeah,
Sometimes the only language that these types of guys understand is a nice stab to the chest.
I don't know, but he sure is going to have a throbbing headache when he wakes up. Looks like he was on methylcorazine, and I gave him a shot of benzoyl. It's not a good combination.
Yeah, and you did see him shaking his head like he was sort of running out of steam for some reason. So that just leaves this entryway up to wherever with some cool music.
Well, I definitely want to reload my gun before we go any further.
All right, that sounds good.
I go to Burris. Like, a little disappointed. I thought, you were a lot better at this with your knife.
Hey, just a little out of practice, but don't worry. I'm all warmed up now.
You made me take my. Actually, by the time I get to him, I don't have my gun out anymore. It's like, okay, we have a job here. Let's, if we're done playing, let's head up.
That's right. Okay. And you guys head upstairs?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I
At the
think so.
top of the hallway, and this looks like it's all kind of smashed together here. You see there's the door at the end of the hall, and you see 2 doors on either side. So we got a door here and a door here, a door here and a door here, and then this door at the end.
This must be one of those kinds of clubs where you need a password to get in.
Yeah, there was probably some sort of administration supposed to happen,
All right.
and you guys
Well-
bypassed that.
Could I draw my criminal familiarity to maybe, I don't know if I would know the password or I would know how we could break in or.
Well, you guys are in.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
Do you want to try a door?
Yeah, let's just go straight ahead.
Straight ahead. Okay. And there's like it's locked, and then there's like a keypad type thing here.
I look at Burst. You want to do it, or do you want me to? All right, I'll do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you should go ahead.
All right, just watch my back.
Is there a way to assist in this system, actually?
Not in the quick start rules.
Okay, fair enough.
I would say it probably gives you a bonus die though.
So,
I'll give you
Okay.
a bonus die.
so I rolled 2.
Yeah, I'd pick the best one.
All
Works
right,
for me.
I'll roll that, and let's put it this way: I succeed. Let's just see by how much. The highest was a 2. The lowest was a 1.
Oh, okay.
So
We're not
5
gonna-
degrees.
Yeah, we're not going to worry. But yeah, yeah, because I would probably give it. You probably wouldn't be rolling against your acuity for this. You'd
Oh.
roll against the target number I gave you, which would be a 6. So,
Yeah.
yeah, you crush it. Okay, yeah. So you can you can open this door now yourself if and you like.
Yeah, who makes their password 1234? Seriously.
Okay. Yeah. Next, I want a better challenge. That was too easy. And
right.
I motion for Burris or Ken to go up. You can go on ahead.
I think maybe I should lead from the back this time. Didn't work out so well for me.
Oh, Doc, is there anything? Burris seems to be bleeding all over the ground. Anything you could do about that?
Oh, geez, yeah.
I mean, I looked at him earlier. Can I do anything else for him, or?
We're all right. We'll just press on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
Okay.
thinking.
After you, Poe. Lead the way.
You want me to lead the way? You're the one with. You're the one with the weapon.
You seem to have a way with people,
Yes.
True.
Poe.
And as you pointed out, you're not bleeding all over the place.
Yeah, but I don't want to meet this guy face to face.
While they're sitting there arguing about it, Dr. Vaughn just goes up and opens the door.
That sounds good. And then you see this guy. When you go in, he does seem to have like some sort of broadcast blocker, so you don't get that terrible music. And then you see that this guy just sitting in a chair, smoking and sipping on a beer.
Hey, you know those things are bad for you, right? They have those Surgeon General warnings on them. They've had those for years now. How are people still smoking?
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be what kills me.
Do I
So-
recognize the person?
Yeah, does he look like
It's like Razor.
Razor Rukar?
Oh, yeah. I guess he
Razor
does.
Rukar.
Rukar, yeah.
You really changed your password. That was like
Yeah.
I barely even touched it, and it opened up.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Well, after all this, I could do some side job. I can beef up your security or something.
Listen, Rukar, where's the girl's body, and why'd you take it?
Really, I don't even want to know the why. I would just settle for where's the body.
I kind of think everyone is entitled to their privacy.
Yeah, well, her parents are entitled to some peace. Why did you do it?
I don't think that's the most interesting question. I think the most interesting question is, why does she have a crushed larynx and extensive bruising?
Let me see those medical reports.
Yeah, he'll pop this up actually. So, go ahead and make an investigation roll.
Uh,
Um,
Investigation.
I'll give you a +2 as well.
Okay, what's that under? Ah, right here, investigation.
Yeah, acuity.
Okay. Okay. I rolled a 5. My acuity is a 3, and I got a 5. I like a 35. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you got it. Well, yeah. So you have a 3, and then I gave you a +2, so it was a 5, and you just got to equal to or less than. So what you're looking at, if this is Mary, and it's very possible that it is, you're looking at a check-in for a sleeve with a repair list at the bottom here. Crushed larynx, extensive bruising at La Clinique Région. So you're kind of getting the impression that this is where the body was dropped off. And that in fact that this body is gonna be repaired. So maybe she didn't die after all. This sleeve is gonna be repaired.
Is that allowable
Oh, sure. So basically,
for her? I mean, not for the Catholics.
oh no.
Oh, they can't have their bodies repaired.
So basically, yeah, this is beyond what would be considered a good Catholic to do. It's also expensive, as you can see.
So was she? I guess I'm asking this of Razor Rukar. Was she killed, and she's going to be backed?
Yeah, she was
restored into this body.
Doesn't you're the Bay City PD? Doesn't that look like she was killed? You don't think she crushed her own larynx and bruised herself extensively, do you?
So why are
As
you
a medical professional, I can tell you that it would be very difficult for one to crush their own larynx and extensively bruise their own throat.
Well,
I'll
actually,
take
the
your
guy we
word
just
for it,
saw
Doc.
could probably do it.
Well, who hired you, Rukar?
She did.
I would like to. Is it detection? Not that I'm good at it. Is that to see if he's lying?
Oh, read person.
Read person.
Yeah, I want to do that too.
Go ahead.
And where is that?
Read person is under empathy.
Oh, never mind. Because I got a D10 in that and 3. I got almost the lowest.
Yeah, I guess I would like to too if I can.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I failed mine.
I got a 4 and my empathy is a 4, so I guess I made it.
Yeah.
Or
yeah. So the other thing about Rukar is he does have his own injuries as well, and he's a little bit out of gas on this. So it looks like he's kind of like he's sick of the whole thing. That actually in this case, his usual percentage and kind of worked against him somehow.
all right. Well, while the PA is questioning him, I'm just gonna kind of give a nod, like I think he's telling the truth, and then I'm gonna point to his wounds and say, "Look, I'm a medical professional. If you want, I can have a look at those wounds for you." maybe help you live a little longer, you know, though those cigarettes are going to kill you pretty soon.
He goes, yeah, I'll tell you what. You want to know who stabbed me? Because you're being so nice, I'll tell you. Stay away from her parents.
Hold on. That
Bum,
kind
bum,
old
bum.
couple got the better of you?
Well, they're the type that kill their own daughter, so yeah, I guess. I guess we all underestimated them a little bit.
So why did they kill her? She wanted to re-sleeve or something?
Yeah, and she was at least willing to do it. She was going to leave the Catholic Church. So she called me to come pick her up, and then guess what? She was dead when I got there.
That's not very Catholic of them, is it?
So I took her to a place that will either re-sleeve her or bring her back or something.
So the way I understand the laws here, because she's Catholic, the police can't re-sleeve her or access her stack at all, because if she is Catholic, is that correct?
That's up to her, right? Because
Oh,
she.
true, but if she's listed as a Catholic, does that mean that the police can't even do that?
Yeah, so there's coding in the cortical stack, or there was, or something. But
Well, they're supposed to be.
yeah,
Right.
under
Okay.
typical cases, yeah, Catholic has special coding, basically like a do not resuscitate, do not re-sleeve kind of thing,
So
like a power of attorney or durable.
if
Will.
we don't get there in time, then we can talk to her and find out everything. But we have somebody with us who might want to get. It depends how much of a law-abiding cop we have.
How old was this girl?
19.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
she's
if
an
we
adult.
look back on our chart here,
Yeah.
I think it says, this says
35.
35.
That must be the new sleeve, or is that her old sleeve?
I guess she was 35.
Okay.
Yeah, that's her current sleeve.
Okay.
35 is the new 19.
Yeah. Do we know what was her profession? Because this is really expensive.
Yeah, it didn't. You would figure based on her parents, they're not affording anything like this. So she didn't. She's not an heiress of any kind.
Right.
Okay. So Razor, was this her original sleeve, or was she re-sleeved into this body?
No, that's the person I picked up. That's her.
Huh. So they're going to repair her body.
Sounds like
And-
she didn't want to be Catholic anymore.
Sure. So that's up to her. She's old enough to make her own decisions. So her parents murdered her.
Yeah, I don't think she cares though. I think she saw that coming. That's why I was supposed to go pick her up.
So
Well, her parents obviously don't want her re-sleeved.
well, you know what? I want my money. So either. So I think the best way is to go meet up with her, find out if everything is as he says, and then she can pay us, or we can go see her parents, and Ken can take care of that. But I still want to get paid. So
Yeah, we can start a little bit of a bidding war.
well, look what happened to Burris. So I think we should get paid for his mental trauma.
Well,
Yeah.
either way, I think the parents are going to be in a bit of hot water.
Are you what report are you gonna file that she was killed by her parents?
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I think we should talk to her first.
We should get a
Mhm.
statement from her.
Yeah. I think we need to head down to the clinic.
Can I do
Next
medicine on Burris or?
I'm sorry.
Well, can I do like a medicine on Boris while we're talking or whatever?
I mean,
Or was that already, or was that taken care of, or what?
Yeah, we're done. We're it's
Okay.
all.
yeah. I don't keep losing points just because I got punched, right?
Yeah,
It's
I
just
don't
like
think
a
so.
one-time injury. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, and
So-
then Dr. Van Horn mushed your bones back together for your
Yeah.
suborbital fracture. Just pressed it on. You got some tape, some kinesiology tape, kind of a thing going.
Nice.
When is the repair? When will the repairs be done?
Yeah, Rukar says, "Hey, my work's done. I just did the drop off."
Does
Did she
the
pay
document
you?
you gave us say when it'll be done?
Oh, yeah. So that was just some initial thing. It doesn't really have any more information on that. So he dropped it off, um, and you kind of wonder why he even has it. But like, actually, Dr. Van Horn, you would think that he probably shouldn't even have that. But it is the criminal element. So possibly he's planning on using it as blackmail or some other thing, filing away. You know how these things go.
I asked
Pity.
Dr. Van Horn, how long would that take to repair the crushed larynx and stuff?
Can I do a roll to see if I know?
Oh yeah, actually, you would figure they're probably doing it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since we won't be able to stop them from repairing a good Catholic's larynx, then the next logical step would be to go and talk to her. I
Doesn't sound like she was much of a good Catholic, though.
yeah, that's why the way I say that I nudge Ken. I said, yeah, you won't be able to stop the repair, but we could talk to her then, because that's probably within your realm of.
Yeah, we definitely need to get a statement from her. Again, if this is her decision, I don't know how the legal ins and outs work when somebody's coded, but then they decide they really want to be resleeved.
It's not. You can't stop that right now. So we should.
Yeah,
The next
it doesn't.
step would be an officer to question her and get our money.
Agreed. Well, let's go. Let's go down there and talk to her.
At Les Cliniques.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So that's in the downtown area. Kind of a boutique kind of medical center. A lot of cosmetic type surgeries, that type of thing. You do walk. Most of them are closed. The lights are sort of on dim here at Les Cliniques Région, and but there's nobody there in reception. It's empty.
Well, I guess we walk down
Well,
the corridor.
yeah, I knew my way sort of around the medical office, right? I'm sure I've been in them in order to get my license revoked.
So,
And
so
then
we,
they're like, "Did you say revoked?" No, I didn't say that. Yeah.
No,
So
I mean, I wouldn't have said it out loud, but
right.
just saying.
do we have access? Is there someone at the front desk?
There is not. It's just like this.
Okay, then I will casually. I'll say, Ken, look over there, and I'll walk behind the desk.
Yeah. Does this look like a legitimate clinic, or does this look like some sort of like black market operation type thing going on?
You tell me.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you.
I just say, give me a break, Poe. I know what you're doing, and I don't care.
So yeah, I mean, so this is in the as I mentioned, like the kind of cosmetic surgery medical building, because even though your sleeve is perfect, is it really? And what is perfection? And so places like this will help you out with a few extra things. It's cheaper than trying to find another sleeve. Um, that kind of thing, making the
Gotcha.
making the best with what you got. So
Right.
yeah, so these places, and this happens to fit in there. Um, Dr. Van Horn, would tell you that there many physicians are always looking for a side gig, right? This is noir. Um, uh, you know, you kind of wonder, like, well, why is Dr. Van Horn running around, trying to get organs? Um, yeah, so this is probably an after-hours side hustle, maybe done for cash. Sometimes, actually, I mean, Burris, you've been patched up by doctors working, off the clock. When you run with a legit gang, a big gang, um, they'll have a guy that they can call, and you might end up at a place similar to this. Um, More likely, you're at a place that's kind of like this, but you know,
Oh, so this is a legitimate place that's
but
being
yeah,
used
this isn't like
legitimately.
that.
But this
Yeah.
is used by using it after hours. It's a little bit. It's off
It's a
the
little
book.
shady.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're probably with her right now doing the repairs.
Yeah.
I
And
just
everyone else, all the legitimate peeps have gone home. So
which is why I want to access their systems to see if I maybe access the cameras and get to see who we're dealing with here. I don't want to walk in. If it's just the doctors, we should be fine. But do they have security cameras access from the front desk?
Oh, yeah, you want to fire up the system and
Yes.
yeah, sure, go ahead. We'll go with digital networking,
All
and
right.
and we'll go with target number 6.
Burris, you want to help me? Just gonna bleed over there.
yes, cracks his knuckles and says, "Let's get to it."
All right. Well, it's a success before I even roll
Oh, nice.
because I had 6, a 1.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So that's no
Nice.
problem. Yeah. So as you might have suspected, um, maybe it's because this medical building is in a nice area, um, that the security cameras actually are off, so they don't even have a record of you showing up to this location.
Well, that's what I figured.
Dr.
Yeah.
Horn would like to ask Poe, is there any record of this girl showing up, or this surgery being done, or anything?
I'm pretty sure there isn't. There's
Yeah,
no
and
record of
you're correct. There
everything's
is
turned
not.
off. Can I plant a backdoor on the system?
Oh, apply one.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to say that's. Yeah, you can do that. I'm going to make that a separate role.
Okay.
We'll make that target number 4.
Target 4. Okay. Digital networking or
Yeah, we'll do
well,
digital networking.
any of the datas or digital. Those ones are all 6s. So 4 exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Looks like you've got yourself a little back door. You can double check the IP codes and see when you need to get in here.
Burrs probably saw exactly what I was doing.
So can we would just walk in, there are no alarms on these medical clinics, it looks like, or anything, or at the very least Poe could turn them off?
Yeah, and basically what Poe confirmed for you is that they had turned them off. Probably the Enterprise is a little shady, and they didn't want a record of it either. Probably relying on it just being in a good neighborhood, and to prevent this very thing from going on. Or, as
Okay.
always, you get a little greedy. You don't want to pay any additional help. You don't want to pay any overtime. All that kind
I
of
actually
stuff.
have an idea.
Dr.
Go ahead.
Dr. Horn would like to go to the first medical clinic And since Boris is his medical assistant, if I remember correctly, he's going to say, "Hey, Boris, I need your assistance." He's going to start like trying to open up the cabinets and stuff and take all the good drugs.
And
He's going to refill his supplies.
hold in front of the police officer.
I mean, Ken's doing whatever Ken's doing.
Yeah.
Well,
So there. Yeah, I would also say that in this section, this is more consultation stuff. Yeah, you would have to go to the procedure rooms, which, as you said, you know where those are if you want to do that. You guys, I'm assuming at this point you guys do head back to the procedure rooms.
actually, before we go, I say to Ken, there's two ways we can do this. We could just barge right in right now, or we can leave and I turn on all the security systems, and then we show up because we're here legitimately. At least you.
In answer to that, I just start walking down the hallway.
Am I
Okay.
the only lawful one here?
Yeah. I guess, Dr. Van Horn, I'd be happy to help you find those drugs, but maybe on the way out.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Like I said, I'm going to need your assistance.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys head back to the procedure rooms, and they are pretty much right where you would expect them to be. And you do see through the observation window, you do see a procedure being conducted on a female that as you suspect. I guess we can go ahead and make stealth rolls at. We'll make it target number 8.
Do I have to make a stealth roll?
Yeah, everybody has to make the stealth roll who went back here.
Okay.
And
Right.
Van Horn, especially since you're pillaging
Wow, a nat 1.
there you go. See, and you were worried.
All right.
I wasn't even worried. I just don't care about stealthing. I mean, they're doing illegal shit, so I'm just going to walk back there and start taking drugs. Like, I don't care about trying to sneak. Like, I'm just like, I already know they're doing something illegal, so it's like, whatever. I'm just going to go back, like, "Hey, Boris, open this lock for me. Thanks."
Yeah.
I got a regular success. I got my target number.
Okay. Yeah, we could call that a regular success, I guess.
Yeah. 2 degrees of success for Burris.
Okay. All right. Well, everybody made it. Yeah. So even though Van Horn isn't trying to be stealthy, he just is, because he's being very careful about exactly what medical supplies he's stealing. So that's excellent work. Okay. Yeah. So this guy just is going on about his business. What do you guys want to do? Just let him finish, or?
Well, can we tell from here, is the woman blonde?
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be her.
Okay.
Now,
There's only one surgery like this going on at this time of night.
oh wait, wrong room.
And the records did well. There's not really records, but up front. But there is back here. You can tell from the monitor information that this patient is 175 centimeters tall, 59 kilograms in weight.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So it's as close to a match as you can get.
With a 2 stealth, am I able to get? Is there a way to get behind that? I can't really tell in the picture, or access that computer without them seeing.
No. So you're actually on the other side of a glass window.
Okay.
So this
this through.
Yeah, you're seeing this through a glass window.
Well, gentlemen, we're here to talk to her, so maybe we just need to wait until she's been revived.
Hey, you're the officer. We'll follow you.
Yeah, that sounds great. Like, he's just like over there, like pumping something into a syringe, putting it on. Yeah, just, we'll wait as long as you need to. Opens up another cabinet. Oh, Borazine. That's the good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then, all right. So you guys are just gonna hang out. You're gonna wait it out.
Then I'm gonna just start. No, that's fine. I'll let it go on. Just so.
Yeah.
Are you guys
And-
gonna contact the doctor or?
The doctor that's in there.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what?
Well,
At this point, I'm walking in. Nobody stops me,
Yeah.
I'm not waiting. I wanna know how long it's gonna be until I get my money, or at least talk to her to get.
Okay. So the doctor does look at you. He's like, "Are you your family?" Yes.
Sure.
Well, you should be gratified to know I did save her life.
Well, that's great. Nothing will make me happier than her rejoining us.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah. So probably in an hour she'll be out of recovery. You're happy to wait in the lobby if you like.
Oh, I don't mind waiting here. It's fine.
All right. So he's like, okay, and then so he finishes up. They wheel her to another room where she can recover, and then probably he applies some stimulants, is what Dr. Van Horn would guess, because she does walk out and kind of just basically ignores you.
Oh no, I would have walked into the recovery room and waited if they didn't stop me. So when she wakes up, I'm standing right there.
Yeah, and she just, so she gets dressed and
the miracle of modern medicine.
Mhm.
Miss Gibson, is that you?
Don't call me that. Call me Roxy. Roxy Nova.
As you wish, Roxy. So I'm with the Bay City PD. Officer
Okay.
Morita. You interested in filing charges against your parents? We understand
Who?
that they.
I don't have parents.
Yeah, I understand that.
We were hired to transport your organs. If that's not happening, then maybe compensation to keep quiet would be fine too.
Yeah, how about 500 credits?
How much were we
That's
offered
basically
again?
nothing, right?
No, that's something. It's 500
Oh,
bucks. Think of it as 500
okay.
bucks.
How much were we being offered by her parents?
0. This was on spec, and then you guys were going to broker the organs.
Oh, and how much would we have gotten for her organs, Doc?
Hard to say. Hard to say.
Probably more than 500 though.
Yeah, probably.
Could I
But
make an
she's-
estimated guess, or
It doesn't matter.
if
Okay,
I'm there, if he's asking me?
It's 500 each. Doesn't seem like a lot.
Her
All right.
organ.
Well, she's like, well, that's for your trouble. Me, I'm
Listen.
going to a special place that will teach me the way the world really works. I'm going to keep my head in the clouds.
Ah,
And she starts to walk out.
well,
I'll take the money.
she's not really. If she's not willing to press charges, there's not really anything.
Oh, I'll take the money.
If
Surely, your privacy is worth more than 500.
Goodbye.
I stand.
We won't be meeting again.
Well, I stand in front of her and I say, I was paid to transport organs. I would really not like to transport organs.
Poe, please. She
Well, that's
she
what-
gave you money. You didn't
Oh, did
Didn't
she?
have to do anything.
Did she actually give it to us?
Yeah, she gave it to him.
Gave us each 500 or 500
No,
total?
no.
You can keep my share, Poe.
Oh, it's 500 total. Yeah.
Yeah, Poe, you can definitely keep my share with those cabinets. Look, if
Oh,
you really want to make money, those cabinets back there.
Yeah.
Just help me
Yeah.
take some stuff out. Some supplies
Listen,
out.
Yeah. Burris gives up and decides to just, he's gonna just take as many drugs as he can too. So.
All right. Have a nice day, ma'am. Person I have not seen at all. And I walk away and just start grabbing stuff, anything that's nailed down.
Ken walks out. He
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
he doesn't want to see any of this.
Okay, that sounds good.
Plausible
Do you guys
deniability.
beat up the doctor when he comes out, or
No.
because he's like, and then he calls the police?
We're
Okay.
here already.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was waiting for. We don't care. All right. Yeah. So So thus concludes the life of Roxy Nova, I guess. And Ken, you just head back to the station.
Sure. Yes.
You guys basically loot the doctor's office.
Yeah. Before the
So-
cops come.
So yeah, three of us will loot.
Okay.
Hilarious. Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna save a few hits for myself though.
Yeah. So the doctor, he's not going to get beat up. He's not going to try to stop you. He's just like, I'm calling the police. So yeah, you guys can get away with a bunch of drugs and medicines and actually some other medical instruments. Basically, for your own little setup that you guys have. This is the pocket setup you guys have mortgaged everything for. So you guys have restocked it. This is where you were going to do the work, and you can finish. You can use some. You can try out some of the stuff on Burris and stitch him up all the way. So while it wasn't,
All right, Boris, lay down and prepare for a trip.
That's there you go. Yeah, now it's time for some R&R. So so that's and then So Ken went back to the station. You guys maybe you guys just hang out here, and that's kind of how we're wrapping it up. Does anybody have anything they want to add or kind of close?
I think Ken will eventually try to use any influence he has to get this investigation into the robbery at this La Clinique deprioritized or forgotten about, but I don't know if he has that kind of sway.
Oh, it's not hard, and then especially because Lake Clinique, for whatever reason, filed an insurance claim and then really wasn't interested, and it had no suspects. It seems like there was a security failure.
Yeah,
mutually beneficial arrangement for all parties.
Yeah, it's kind of like no harm, no foul. The insurance company will pay. Unfortunately, they'll have to overhaul the security system, and they'll find Poe's back door, and then he's
I wanted to find out
curses.
if the camera's turned off again, and then we could show up again for insurance purposes.
Exactly.
Seems to be this monthly replenishment and monthly
Yeah.
insurance claim.
We should have made an arrangement with him.
Really. Oh well. As long as Burris's procedure goes successful, then he'll just be returning to a life of crime as usual.
Yeah. So you sort of help out Dr. Van Horn. You're the kind of the assistant, and hopefully your next organ retrieval goes more smoothly.
Yes.
You do have this investment in this place, so
fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of got to get this thing going. This was a terrible start. So, but that is the way of things in Bay City, I guess.
By medical assistant, Dr. Horn means you know where to get the good drugs, usually.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know people who might be in need of some organ transplants too. So
Yeah.
It's too bad the guy that attacked us, we couldn't do organ transplants for him.
yeah, yeah.
You can always go
Well,
back.
yeah, you do know where he's at, and yeah, and you could probably rig up something, um, some yeah, whether it's I think it's data engineering or engineering, you could probably rig up something to take out that capacitor. So
Oh, then that's what I would like to do.
Yeah, we can also create our own client base. Mess them up enough and then charge them for the organs.
Yeah.
it's an arbitrage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like beat the shit out of them, and then Dr. Holmes hands them a card. Come by our clinic if you ever need medical assistance.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds
Well,
like a good.
I hope
Yeah,
you guys liked it, and
yeah, that was fun.
I think so. I mean, the combat systems, I kind of like it. I think. Um, I don't know what would happen if you have multiple combatants and
It does
oof.
seem, yeah, it seems like there's a
So-
lot going on.
It's a little crunchy. There's a lot going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah,
It's-
so we'll see if they address that in the,
Mhm.
in the
Because,
I
final
think it's-
rules. But
I think
Like-
probably like once you get used to it, it's fine. Because like I play Coriolis, and Coriolis is like that. Like Coriolis is like super crunchy, but like once you get used to it, and once everyone knows what they're doing, it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and then like you're all just rolling, and you know what you need to roll and stuff like that.
yeah, I
I
mean
mean,
that's
it's-
fair. This is our first shot at it. So
Sure.
Yeah,
It's not too much
That's-
different than just rolling initiative every round. I mean,
You're sort of pre-rolling initiative, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, sure.
Yeah.
Like, if I were remaking this character, I would have gone with more of the perception, because I think instead of overlapping too much with JT's character, I was better at it than him. So in those skills, but I could have gone more perception, rolled 6 dice for perception, and said,
Mhm.
okay, I'll act now, and now.
Hey, I think
Yeah.
we were a good team.
I think
We were able to
if I were
pair up.
to continue this character, and like if I were gonna redo anything I did, like when you mentioned him being Catholic, I probably should have, because I now realize it's such a baggage, and I get a -2 if I'm recognized as being Catholic. So like that's probably something he's not like actually. It'd have been like, oh well, Dr. Horn here is Catholic. It'd be like,
Well,
you
to
know,
those people, it wouldn't have been a hindrance.
yeah,
yeah.
because you were a part of the culture.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, he probably, should have played that off more, like, as a, well,
Oh yeah, that
Technically.
actually that -2 has to do with it. Could have actually shown up here if you had tried to uh, negotiate with the doctor. He would have probably recognized you as no longer being a licensed doctor. You had a spectacular fail from a rival, because you were semi Methuselah headed towards Dr. Van Horn, but you had everything set, but then somebody took you down, and you're still not quite sure who. So you were a doctor who lost his license very publicly, very messily. Yeah, so you don't have privileges anywhere. You have all the skills, but that's why you're trying to kind of start this business. And technically the business is it's not really, it's supposed to not be physician based. It's just organ transport. So it's really supposed to be replacement stuff. So yeah. So yeah, there's, of course, everybody has a backstory. There's always this noir backstory. So
mhm.
I liked it though. I had a fun time
Well, thank you very much.
playing with
Frank.
you guys. You guys did a
Thanks.
great job, and
Yeah.
Oh yeah, thanks for running it for us.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing. System, I'm undecided, but they're still working on it. It's not finished, so
Yeah,
I'll see.
I think it's pretty cool so far, though. First,
Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed that.
I'm gonna go watch a couple of the actual plays now. They just released another one, I think, yesterday or early
Huh.
this week.
Yeah, I started watching them, and so I didn't get time to get through the whole thing, and I didn't get an opportunity to see a combat yet. Uh, so I ran out of time. I was busy this week, a bunch of extracurricular stuff. So kid stuff.
It'll be a
and
little
different
easier
things.
to digest. Sometimes if you don't know the system, sitting down and watching a live play, it's hard to pick up the rules from it. But now that we've played through it once, it'll be a bit more
Yeah.
digestible.
Yeah, I think this is a good time to do it. Yeah. Yep.
Cool. Well, I need
Yeah,
to go.
if you run
Thank
it
you.
again, I wouldn't mind playing again.
All right.
Yeah.
If we
Okay.
do a
Cool.
part two
Yeah.
or anything.
Yeah.
We could do part 2 to this.
And
Yeah.
I don't know
Let
if
us
all
know,
of you
Frank.
are on Facebook, but the Facebook group is actually where I found out about this. And I'm sure if you post the video up, Frank, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll do.
And
Cool. Yeah, I'll
JT,
check and hopefully
I'll
it went
add
all
you. I'm going to add you to the group, JT. The Absolute Tabletop is where I.
Sure. Sounds good.
All right. Good night.
All right. Good
Yeah.
night. Thanks again, Frank.
You bet. We'll see
Okay,
ya.
thanks.